Have you ever wondered what life after 80 feels like beyond the cliches? Aging isn't just about wrinkles or doctor visits. It's a profound shift that catches even the strongest, most independent souls off guard. In today's video, we're diving into 5 harsh, unexpected realities that everyone faces after crossing into their 80s. These aren't the obvious physical declines. They're the quiet, emotional, and social changes that reshape how you see yourself, your relationships, and your place in the world. Why watch until the end? First, you'll uncover truths that no one talks about, like why your social world shrinks or why small health issues suddenly feel monumental. Recognizing these shifts isn't just eye-opening, it's empowering. You'll gain practical insights to navigate these changes with purpose and peace, whether for yourself or someone you love. Second, we'll share strategies to stay connected, resilient, and confident, even when life feels unpredictable. Finally, this video isn't about dwelling on loss. It's about finding strength in awareness. By naming these realities, you'll feel less alone and more equipped to live fully, no matter your age. Stay with us to discover how to embrace this chapter with grace and wisdom. Comment below with your thoughts and let's start this journey together. Don't miss out. Your perspective could inspire someone else. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Number 1. The shrinking world of social connection. As you cross the threshold of 80, one of the most striking, almost imperceptible shifts you begin to feel is the gradual shrinking of your social world. It's a transformation that doesn't announce itself with grand gestures or dramatic moments, but settles in quietly, like the fading light at the end of the day. Sure, the phone still rings from time to time, and there are still the occasional visits, but everything has changed. The frequency, the ease, the warmth. What used to flow naturally, the rhythm of friendships and familiar exchanges, feels more like a scattered, fragile collection of moments, and that subtle shift, though barely acknowledged, becomes a heavy presence in your life. Friends, once steady pillars in your circle begin to move away, face their battles with health, or sadly pass on. It's not something you can prepare for, but it's something you learn to live with. Meanwhile, family members who you once saw on a weekly or even daily basis get swept up in the whirlwind of their responsibilities. And before you realize it, those long, comfortable conversations you once took for granted become fewer, almost like distant echoes. This isn't about bitterness, no, it's something far more raw and real. It's about the quiet truth that no one talks about as the years pass. The invitations, once so plentiful, grow less frequent. Visits grow further apart, and even if you were never one to crave constant companionship, there's a weight in the silence that lingers in a way you hadn't imagined it would. It's not loneliness, at least not in the way we often think of it. It's something subtler, more profound, and strangely it's both freeing and painful at the same time. And then in those rare moments of reflection, you realize something that might surprise you. The absence of others doesn't necessarily bring loneliness, but it does bring a deep sense of longing. A longing not for more people, but for the presence of those who have touched your life in meaningful ways. For the laughter you once shared, now only a whisper in your memory, and the simple routines that once filled your days with comfort. What once felt like mundane moments now shine with a preciousness that brings tears to your eyes if you think about it too long. It's important to say this. There's absolutely nothing wrong with feeling this way. You're not weak, nor are you fading into the shadows of despair. It's not loneliness in the traditional sense. It's simply a part of this strange, bitter-sweet adjustment that comes with aging. It's a quiet shift, one that catches you off guard because no one ever truly prepares you for it. But what's crucial to understand is that these emotional moments, however lonely they might seem, offer an opportunity, a chance to stay emotionally connected, not just to others, but to yourself, to your own story, and to the few deep connections that remain. Because as the crowd fades, the beauty of those few remaining relationships, the ones that matter, becomes more valuable than you could ever have imagined. It's a truth that can be as comforting as it is heartbreaking. After 80, what we sometimes need the most isn't a busy social calendar, but a few moments of true connection with those who understand our story. In those deep, meaningful relationships, you can still find joy, peace, and the sense that you truly belong, even as the world outside grows quieter. Number 2, how small health issues turn into big ones. As you enter your 80s, one of the most surprising yet undeniable truths is how small health issues that once seemed insignificant begin to grow into much larger, more persistent problems. What used to be just a passing inconvenience like a cold that would last a few days now lingers for what feels like an eternity. A bruise which would have faded within a matter of hours now stubbornly refuses to heal as quickly as before. And that tiny misstep, the kind that you would have forgotten by the end of the day, now stretches into weeks of discomfort, recovery, therapy, or even the fear of surgery. It's like your body's clock has started ticking in a different rhythm, and everything, every ache, every bruise, every setback becomes amplified. It's not simply that your body slows down, it's that your resilience, the inner strength you once relied on without thinking, becomes more fragile. The grace with which you used to bounce back from life's little knocks and scrapes has vanished. The margin for error shrinks, and even the smallest things, missing a meal or not drinking enough water, can throw your entire system into disarray. You might still feel like the same person deep inside, strong and capable, but your body no longer runs smoothly in the background like it once did. It demands more attention, more care, more patience. It asks for things that you never had to consciously think about before, and that change is harder to ignore than you might think. And yet, this shift is rarely talked about openly. It's brushed aside by friends, family, and even doctors as just another part of getting older. But you know, don't you? You can feel the difference in the way your body reacts. You can feel the weight of every recovery and the toll it takes on you, not just physically, but emotionally. It's frustrating to realize that your body doesn't respond the way it used to. If you've always been someone who prided yourself on being active, independent, or in control of your health, this shift can feel like a personal betrayal. The body, that once served you with strength and reliability, now seems like it's turning on you, refusing to cooperate. It can be heart-wrenching. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. But here's the truth. Awareness is a form of strength. Recognizing these changes, acknowledging them, and permitting yourself to slow down without guilt or shame is an act of immense power. Instead of pushing through in the way you once did, you can shift gears. You can adjust, listening to what your body truly needs. More rest, more hydration, more compassion for yourself. This chapter of life isn't about proving to anyone that you're still unbreakable. It's about accepting your humanity, embracing the journey and nurturing the resilience you still have, just in a different form. It's about honoring the person you've become, not the one you used to be. Number 3 is the quiet loss of visibility in social spaces. One of the most painful and jarring changes that often comes after 80 is how swiftly the world begins to overlook you. It's not that people do this out of malice or intentional disrespect. No, it's far subtler than that. It's a shift in the cultural fabric, a quiet undercurrent that society rarely acknowledges, an unspoken assumption that with age you somehow become less relevant. You walk into a room and the energy doesn't shift. It doesn't swell to greet you, as it once did. Your presence, once magnetic and filled with the weight of lived experience, now seems to be swallowed by the noise around you. You speak, and often others talk over you, not out of rudeness, but because they assume you finished, that your words no longer carry the urgency or importance they once did. It can be maddening. You find yourself repeating yourself more often, waiting longer for others to hear you, or worse, feeling unseen, even in the company of those you love most, family. It's a hollowing sensation, almost as if you're standing in the background of your own life. This is not just about being ignored. It's the slow, imperceptible fading of your presence in a world that is relentlessly speeding up. A world that places youth at the center more and more with each passing year. The world has changed, and with it your place in it feels somehow diminished, as though your stories and wisdom no longer have the same weight. But let me tell you, the most painful part of this experience is that it often goes unspoken. There's little preparation for this subtle but insidious loss. Your age doesn't just walk into the room with you, it precedes you. People begin to see your wrinkles and your silver hair and assume that those things mean you no longer have a voice that needs to be heard. But it's in those moments, when the world seems to forget you, that the truth of your worth can feel like it's slipping away. It's a deep, quiet grief. You've lived a life, one rich with experiences, loss, love, and lessons that are only now beginning to fully blossom in the weight of time. And yet, despite all of that, there are times when it feels like your presence is not just unacknowledged, but actively pushed aside. That sting, that feeling of being ignored, can bring with it a mix of emotions: sadness, frustration, even an aching form of grief that lingers quietly beneath the surface. But here's the truth. This shift is not a reflection of your value. It's not a measure of your worth. No, it's simply a symptom of a culture that too often forgets how to honor its elders. A culture that forgets that the elderly carries stories that matter, perspectives that shift and deepen with the years. But let me also tell you this: you are not unseen. The world may not always recognize you immediately, but that doesn't mean your voice doesn't hold meaning. There is power in being seen not just as someone who has lived, but as someone who continues to have something important to contribute. The ones who truly matter, the ones who truly care, are the ones who will take the time to see you, to hear you, and to honor your presence. And those are the people who deserve your attention, your energy, and your stories. So don't step back. Don't allow the silence that sometimes falls over you to define who you are. Speak your truth. Share the stories that only you can tell. Be the quiet presence that gently reminds others what grace, wisdom, and resilience look like. You may not be the loudest in the room, but what you carry, your experience, your memories, your quiet strength has more weight than most realize. Your voice is important. Don't ever forget that. Number 4 is the narrowing of your daily life. Aging past 80 isn't just about the changes that happen to your body. Those are hard enough, but the more subtle, heartbreaking shifts that occur in the world around you. The life you once knew, filled with routines, familiar faces, and cherished places, begins to quietly fade. It's not a sudden, violent shift, but a gradual shrinking bit by bit. You might start noticing that you go out less, not because you've lost interest in life or the people around you, but because everything seems a little farther, more exhausting, or just harder to navigate. You find yourself hesitating before stepping out the door, weighing whether it's worth the effort. Friends who once visited often might move away, get sick, or tragically pass on. Neighbors come and go, leaving empty spaces that once felt full. The shops, restaurants, and parks that were part of your life for years slowly close their doors or change in ways that no longer feel familiar. It doesn't feel like your world is crumbling. It doesn't collapse in one fell swoop, but slowly, quietly it shrinks, and that shrinking weighs heavily on your heart. The loneliness doesn't strike you all at once. It starts as a subtle silence in the background, barely noticeable at first, almost like a gentle hum you can ignore. But over time that silence grows, its presence unmistakable, like a heavy blanket you can't shake off. Even the most fiercely independent people begin to feel the sting. It's unsettling to watch as the familiar drifts away. You're not giving up, but you're left grieving the changes, the absence of what was. It hurts to see the spaces once filled with life become emptier. But here's the thing. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of having lived, of having loved, and of caring deeply about the life you've built. Naming this grief for what it is brings clarity. It's the ache of watching something precious slip away, but it's not something to hide from. Instead, embrace it for what it is. This sorrow, heavy as it may feel, is proof of a life well lived, filled with connections and memories that matter. And while the world you once knew may shrink in size, it doesn't have to shrink in meaning. Yes, some things are gone, but there is still room for growth in unexpected places. That growth might not come from exotic trips or grand adventures. It may show up in quieter moments, in deeper conversations with someone younger who seeks your wisdom, or in the sharing of old stories that once felt too distant to revisit. The richness of life isn't measured by its size, it's measured by its depth. So pick up the phone, even if it's long distance. Sign up for that virtual group, even if it's not what you're used to. Keep finding meaning in the spaces you still have, because life's meaning doesn't fade unless you let it. Keep reaching for what matters. Number 5 is the unpredictability of your own body. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. As we age, particularly after 80, our bodies begin to communicate with us in ways that can be confusing, even downright maddening. One day you wake up feeling clear-headed, strong and energized, ready to take on whatever the day throws at you. You feel like you could conquer the world. But then the next day you're suddenly slower, foggy, unsure why your knees feel stiff, or why your hands can't grip that coffee cup as firmly as they once did. It's as though your own body, the very one you've known and relied on for a lifetime, is betraying you. And what makes it even harder to bear is not just the inconvenience of the physical symptoms, but the deep sense of betrayal that accompanies it. You've lived in this body for decades, and now it seems to be changing its rules without any warning, without any reason. It's a feeling that can be deeply unsettling. You plan to take a walk one morning, thinking it'll be just like any other walk. But then, out of nowhere, a wave of exhaustion crashes over you, leaving you questioning what went wrong. You bend down to tie your shoe, and suddenly it feels like it's taking forever just to rise back up. Maybe it's the dizziness that sneaks up on you when you least expect it, or a strange tingling in your hands that comes and goes without explanation. These things aren't just inconvenient, they feel like they undermine your sense of control and your independence. And here's the part no one talks about. It's not just the physical discomfort that's draining, it's the emotional toll. The inconsistency of your body starts chipping away at your confidence. 2. Suddenly you find yourself hesitating before stepping out of the house, not because you physically can't, but because you're uncertain of what might happen. Will you feel fine, or will you find yourself struggling with something unexpected? This kind of doubt is unfamiliar, and it can make you feel smaller and more vulnerable, like you're no longer the person you used to be. And that's okay. It's natural to feel this way. But here's the empowering truth. While your body may no longer be as reliable as it once was, your response to it can be. This is where flexibility becomes your strength. Adaptability becomes your most powerful tool. You begin to learn how to plan more carefully, pace yourself, and be kind to your body, instead of growing frustrated with it. You listen more attentively to what your body needs. Rest when it's required. Stretches to keep everything moving smoothly. And regular check-ins with your doctor, not just when something's wrong, but as a way to stay proactive and in tune with your health. The more knowledge you gather, the more empowered you become, even in the face of uncertainty. This gives you back control, or at least the feeling that you're still navigating life with purpose. Through all of this, there's one undeniable truth. Your body may be unpredictable, but how you respond to it doesn't have to be. By embracing flexibility, you can adjust, adapt, and rise above the challenges that come with aging. And as we come to a close, let's take a moment to reflect on the 5 harsh realities we've just explored. These are the truths that many of us face as we grow older, often without warning. But they don't define us. From the gradual thinning of close relationships to the physical unpredictability that sneaks up when we least expect it, these shifts can surprise us. But here's the thing. Acknowledging these changes is not a sign of decline, it's a sign of acceptance. It's about facing life with eyes wide open, embracing the wisdom that comes with age, and living with more awareness, more freedom, and more confidence than ever before. What struck you the most in this conversation? Have you noticed any of these realities in your own life, or perhaps in someone close to you? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share in the comments below. Your stories help others feel less alone in this journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. As we wrap up today's video, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far. We've explored 5 important realities that come with aging, from the unexpected changes in your body to the emotional challenges of adapting to a new way of life. Aging isn't always easy, But understanding and accepting these changes can help us live with more awareness, flexibility, and grace. What stood out to you the most in today's discussion? Is there one thing you've learned that you're going to start practicing in your own life? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so please take a moment to comment below and share the one takeaway that resonated with you. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs, inspires, and empowers. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.